Hi everyone, welcome back. We are on to page 4 in the Frilly Fun mini album, which we cut on silhouette or you're cutting by hand. We've already done page 1, page 2, and page 3, and today we're doing page 4. The guide is available on my Etsy shop, which has all the cutting measurements and templates that you need to make the album. So today we're probably going to do page 4 and maybe page 5, because page 4 shouldn't take us too long. And I want to show you how to cut the mats for page 5, which we haven't done yet. So let me get this out of the way. We are using the Paperline Fall Break from Cartabella. It's super cute, and I'm enjoying working with it. I hadn't used this brand before, and it's nice. So let us go ahead and get started. So here's page 4. I've got all my pieces, which we cut out in part 1. And there's not many pieces for this page. This is a pocket, and then I've got the mats. And the pocket for this page goes here on the side. Here's the finished album. So this is the page that we're working on, and this is the side pocket that we're making. Okay, so let me get my scoreboard. And a tool to score with. And, oops, stuck on back there. Okay, so this is going to be scored, this pocket. You're going to score each of the ends at 1/2 inch and the base at 1/2 inch. 1/2 inch and 1/2 inch, and then turn and 1/2 inch. Sorry, I hope you can see that. Okay, and that's all we had for that. Very straightforward. And some scissors to trim the corners of this pocket. You could put the tape on first. Actually, I think I will put the tape on first. And so I'm using 3/8 inch score tape. And you don't have to go all the way down into the corner because we're cutting that corner off. Again, if you're cutting this one by hand, find my bone folder here, you can cut this straight across. You can use a Sizzix type or any other brand die cutting machine to cut that. You could use an edge punch if you have one. You don't have to cut this on a Silhouette or any other electric cutting machine or computerized cutting machine, whatever they are. You can just make this however you like. Just adjust your mat for the width of however you punch this. Okay. Actually, you know what? I'm going to cut this from this side because I'm having a hard time seeing it with the mat there. I have terrible vision, I'm afraid. Okay. And normally I would angle these, but I'm going to fold them in first, these punch corners, and see how they look before I trim them off. Okay. They may yet need to be trimmed, but they may not. So. Yeah, see, they're pretty much halfway in the middle of the sort of arc. So I think they're going to be all right without being cut. Goes up. Okay, and now, using a trick that I learned from Jennifer at Genevieve Designs, is you want to pull up the side, the tape on the side. No, grab something sharp here. There we go. And then put the bottom down and adhere it to that. And that brings it out from the base a little bit and just makes it easier for you to get your inserts in and out of the pocket without them catching. Okay, now, here's the piece we made before. Be careful if you're using the same paper line I am. It has an up and down, so this is page 3. This is the spine. It's going to turn this way in the spine, and we want the pocket here. Okay, now these pages are 4 inches square, so you can put the pocket anywhere you want. But this is where I put it, so that's where, in the prototype, so that's where I'm going to put it this time. Okay, you see, all right, so I'm just lining that up right along the edge, and make sure the sides are lined up, and put it down. Here we go. Easy, right? And this is a super easy way to make a page. Just one pocket, but with that decorative edge, it just makes it look so nice. And then this is going to be the base mat, and this is going to be the pocket mat. And I'm going to go ahead and ink those. And I am using walnut stain distress ink, not the oxide, just the regular. Now this does have a direction, and I want it to go with the little acorns pointing into the pocket. It's going sideways, but I'd rather have it this way. So, where's my glue? All right, I am using art glitter glue, and I realize my bottle is just terrible. However, I've just been using this bottle for I don't even know how long. This is a 4-ounce bottle, and then I buy these 8-ounce bottles and just refill it because I find it easier to hold the smaller size bottle. Now I'm going to put the mat that goes in the pocket first because it's a lot easier to match the one that goes outside the pocket to that one rather than this one to that one. Does that make any sense to you? I hope so. All right, where's my tape? My glue not coming out. Let me see. There's not. No, excuse me. There's somebody at my door. Okay, sorry about that. That was my grocery delivery. One way that I have time to do any crafting with family and full-time job and all that stuff is I don't grocery shop. And at first it seems like a luxury and it must be so expensive. And it does cost a little more. I use shipped, and I do think that some of the things cost more, although they have all the sales and stuff. But I don't have any impulse purchases, and I think anything extra I spend having it delivered, I save on not having impulse purchases. Not to mention the convenience is awesome. Oh, I've got a little glue there. And then if I don't have them delivered, I use the Walmart pickup service, which is good too. Where you place your grocery order online, and they shop it, and then you go pick it up, and that has the same benefits without so much cost. Where no impulse buying. seems a little wide to me. No, it's fine. Well, what is with me lately? This is the second page in a row where I have, you know what I've been doing is, I'll confess, when I was demonstrating cutting these mats in When I was demonstrating cutting the mats in part 1, I accidentally got them mixed up. And I think I grabbed the wrong one a couple of times here. So rather than finding the right one, I'm just cutting this one down to size. Okay, and there is page 4. Okay, now we're going to do page 5. I'm going to take a little break and get set up because we need to cut the mats for that, and I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back, and we're going to cut the mats for page 5. Now, you will have already cut 2 of them as part of your other mats, but if you want to cut the additional 2, which you don't have to, but if you want 4 inside and outside of the doors, let me show you. All right, so there are 2 in with the regular mats, and then there's a separate sheet that has 2 more. And I'm sorry, again, my cat's making noise. So much for the quiet cat, right? I have included a sheet, and you'll notice on the sheet when you open it in your Solid software that the paper is quite narrow. It's only 3.5 inches wide, and that's because it's set to use one of those cutoffs that you cut off your 12 by 12 to fit in your silhouette. So all you have to do is just put your cutoff all the way to the side like this, and you'll be fine. So you're just going to go ahead and load it in, and this is the same way you can use these to cut your mats for your inserts later on. All you need to do is just move them over to fit on a piece of paper that's 3.5 inches wide. So let me go ahead and go over and send these to the cutter. Let me go ahead and send. Now I have it set for 2 passes, which is not necessary. So there we have our mats. Okay, let me get the silhouette put away, and then we'll start making page 5. Okay, so we've got our mats. I'm just going to go ahead and ink them up, even though we're not quite at the point of adding mats. Whoops, wrong side. That's the one I want. I kind of like this side, so I wasn't planning on using this side, but I think I will. Oh, sorry, that's my kitty. He's still got his cold. He's just finishing his antibiotics, so we'll see how he does. And this is the only one that I'm sure of which side I'm going to use, so I'll wait to ink those other 2. Set these aside for now. That. Let's do our page. All right, so this is where we left off. That's page 4. And then page 3 and page 4. And then we need a new base for page 5, and I have one. Just need to grab it. It's right here. So that's going to go there. So when they're open, they'll be like this. And then these are going like this. Okay, so let me set that aside. We're done with that. And let me grab, so you've got 2 doors. I've actually got a couple extras there, and you've got a flap. So let's go ahead. I don't know, they're doors, they're flaps. I don't know what to call them. All right, so you're gonna put the flaps, doors, whatever you choose to call them, in your scoreboard with the straight edge along the side, and you're going to score at a 1/2 inch. Okay, that's the same for both. 1/2 inch. And then you're going to take your flap, which is 4 inches by 4.5 inches, and you're going to score the 4.5 in that way along the top and score at a 1/2 inch. Okay. All right, that's all you need. Set that aside. And let's go ahead and fold these and burnish them. Okay. All right. Now, you can mat these before you put them in, or you can do it after. But either way, I'm going to go ahead and glue them. So the way these are going to go is, here's your base with the openings, and these are going to slide in here, and I haven't trimmed the corners yet, so they don't quite fit. And the tape is going to go here on the inside of both of those. So let me grab my 3/8 inch score tape. And I'm going to put the tape close to the edge rather than the fold, because you don't want to interfere with the fold. And here. Okay. And then the flap is going to go, it doesn't have an opening to insert in, so it's just going to sit on top. So it gets its tape on the outside. If I can find the end of my tape, there we go. So I'm going to tape that on the outside. Just like that. All right, now let's get these, and we're going to cut the tabs at an angle to make it easier to fit them in those side openings. Just like that. This piece you do not have to trim the corners of the tab. You can though. I mean, I can go ahead and up some of these little bits that I cut off. All right, now let's go ahead and mat these before we put them down. So the 2 inside ones, I think I'm going to do, let's see, how am I going to do these? Oh, you know what I was going to do? Let's see, hang on. All right, if that one's going to go like that, and that one's going to go like that. So for these to be right side up, these, see, this one's going to end up upside down, which is why I wasn't really going to use this side. Okay, back to the leaves. I don't mind sideways, but I'd rather line it upside down. Okay, so the leaves to the inside, I think. Or do I want to use, oh, you know what, one of these is going to be upside down too. I didn't even notice that. Okay. How am I? Oh, but I have dots. Okay, hang on. Let's rethink this. Okay, so the dots can go on the inside, and the leaves can go on the outside. Okay, that's easy enough. Problem solved. But I need to ink these because I was going to use the other side. Now, if you do want to use a directional, you just have to go into your Silhouette software and flip one of the templates so they're not both facing the same way. And that will solve that for you. Okay, there's that one. Now, another way that you can cut, and I may play with that in a future project, is by using a scan and cut mat, which is kind of a cool thing. I've got one and I have used it successfully, where you put your paper on this special mat and then you can load it in and cut a very specific part of the paper. So like maybe you're doing a Christmas project, you wanted to get Santa or the tree or whatever, then you could specifically tell the software to cut just that part. And I can show you how to do that in another project. Or of course you could just cut these by hand. It certainly only take a minute. Okay. These have a hole in them. Oh, I didn't do that very straight, did I? These have a hole in them, in the arch, with an eyelet to take the ribbon. Why am I speaking so funny? To take the ribbon that closes the page. So let us do that before we attach it. So these out of the way. These are 4 inches side to side. So we know we want it at the 2-inch mark. And then we just have to decide about how far in. And that doesn't look bad. Right there. All right. So that is just shy of 1 1/2, so that's what 1 3/8. So 2 inches side to side and 1 3/8 from the fold. Oh, I didn't put the pin back in my glue. Let me do that. Actually, did I do that from the fold or did I do it from the mat? Hang on, let me just see. Oh, I did it from the mat. I should do that from the fold. I'm going to do it from the fold. It is going to be the full 1 1/2. So it's 1 1/2 from the fold. Okay. Let's make sure those are good. Okay, that looks good. Now you can use traditional hole punch, the regular office hole punch, with some of these hole reinforcements, or you can use the grommet. I'm going to go ahead and use the grommet. All right, I've got my crocodile, and I am going to, whoops, looks like last time I punched something, I left the punch in there. Okay. So you want to center the little dot that you made in the opening on your crocodile. Just like that. Ooh, it doesn't look like it's quite centered, does it? But that's all right. It'll be fine. Oops. Hang on. See, I think I still had something in there. Okay, there we go. Let's see. Oh, that's not bad. All right, then you want to take a couple of eyelets. And I think in this case, these kind of coppery, bronzy ones will be pretty, whatever color that is. All right, so you insert the eyelet in, and then just squeeze, just like it could not be easier. I have almost no hand strength, and yet I have no trouble with these. So I highly recommend this tool if you have any interest at all in adding this type of embellishment to your books. Okay, so those are going to go like that. All right. Oh, you know what? I should have attached my seam binding under there, but that's easy enough because we can decorate that and hide it, so that's okay. I'm so anxious to get going, I'm forgetting the details. All right. So let's go ahead and insert our doors in one on each side. Make sure you use the tape side facing up and don't go past your score line. You want that flap to close nicely. Just like that. You can even leave just a little bit more than you otherwise would because there is going to be a flap there if you want. Just to give it plenty of room to fold. Okay, perfect. Now this is what I was going to use there, and that does look nice. Yeah, that's fine. Let's just take a look in case there's something we like better. It's never too late to change your mind. Nope, that doesn't have enough contrast. I don't like plaid. Nope. Okay, so it's definitely going to be that one. And I have inked that already, but that doesn't actually go on the base, it goes on the flap. So let's go ahead and attach the flap. So you're gonna peel off the tape, and this gets lined up right along the top. Just like that. Okay, and that still closes nicely. So this is going to go here. Right, so I'll go ahead and put that on. And I'm using art glitter glue. This is a directional, so I want to make sure I get it right side up. Okay, there's that. And now we have the plaid for one and the pumpkins for the other. Honestly, this plaid is not my favorite. It's a little bright. And I ink that pretty heavily. Maybe we can tone it down a little. I usually like plaids. I like plaid clothes. I like plaid papers usually, but this, I don't know, maybe it's the orange because I'm also not a huge fan of orange. Okay, so okay, and that'll be these two. Trying to record, whoops, as much of this book as I can this weekend because I'm having some dental work done next week. I'm not entirely sure that I'm going to be able to speak very well. Okay. Cute. Okay. I really should get some baby wipes to wipe up the glue that seeps out sometimes, and I just keep forgetting to pick any up. I usually use a little paper towel, but I don't have one handy. Okay. Let's see, and this does not have a direction to it. Good. Now, that looks good. And we're going to close this. Now, I closed this with seam binding before. I'm wondering if I shouldn't use just baker's twine this time, given that it's kind of a rustic sort of book. That'd be better? What do you think? I wish I could hear what you're saying. Or do I want to use seam binding? Let me see. I already used seam binding once and it looked nice. I guess, you know what I should have done probably is dyed some of this seam binding more of a beigey color. Not too late, really. What do I want to do? All right, well, let me think about that for a second. I'm going to go over here. And we have these stickers, and I'm thinking I'm going to use these to hide the tail ends of the ribbons. So I just need to pick a couple. All right, so I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back, and I did decide to use the seam binding, and I just ran my walnut stain ink over it just to tone down the white a little bit. Now I am going to put a little piece of tape. I'm trying to think. I want to look on here. I can't remember exactly how I did this one. I didn't even think to look. Yeah, what I did on this one, just in case you want to do it, is I put this eyelet, the eyelet here before I put the inner mat in, and then I covered the back of the eyelet with the mat, okay? And that's a good way to do it. I probably should have done it this way, but honestly, when you do that, it's a little tricky sometimes to hide that. You have to put it deeper. So I'm going to center this little piece of tape, not too big, right on the inside, right below the eyelet. You don't want it too big and you don't want it too close to the eyelet. You want to put it pretty much centered, right? Then I'm going to take your piece of seam binding or ribbon or whatever you're using through the eyelet from the front and stick it down there. And I'm going to do the same here. Stick it down. Okay, now I'm going to take some little scissors and just cut any excess where it's not stuck down away. Being careful not to cut my page, okay, because I don't want to have to put too big a sticker over that. All right, I'm thinking I have several stickers that would work here. I'm not sure where this one fits. I'm still debating. Let's see, that one is how big? That one's an inch and an eighth. And that would fit. So I'm thinking maybe put that one on this side actually. And that would fit. All right, so I'm going to use that one. It says thankful. Oh, will it fit? Well, it will fit, but it'll cover the eyelet. Am I okay with that? Yeah, I'm okay with that. I don't know. I don't think it'll look nice. I need something smaller. How about one of these little pumpkin stickers? That's cute. Okay, that was actually my original choice. Oh, I probably should have inked that. And then I've got another slightly bigger little pumpkin over here. Since I didn't ink the other one, I'm not going to ink this one. There. Okay. Perfect. All right. That looks cute. All right. And then we're just going to tie this in a bow. All right, that is page 5. Clean some of this up. Whoops. All right, thank you so much for watching. I hope you don't have any trouble making your own version. If you do, of course, reach out to me. I'll be sure to help you. You can comment down below or just message me on Facebook or I don't know if you can because I think you can through my Quiet Cat Paper Company page, or just email me through Etsy if you've bought the guide and you're having any issues with it. Again, this is page 5. Let's bring these down. That's page 4, page 3, page 2, and page 1. So we're moving right along. The next few pages don't take very long. We'll probably get 2 done in the next video as well, maybe even 3. So thanks so much for watching. Please like if you enjoyed this video, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so that you get notified when the next video is posted. Again, the guide for this book is available on my Etsy shop, which is linked down below, along with all the items that I've been using. And follow me on Facebook and Instagram at the Quiet Cat Paper Co. And I will see you next time. Thank you so much for watching.